Okay, and we are just going to take a quick break. If you need dinner ready, like right now, you need HelloFresh. Look for quick and easy recipes on the HelloFresh menu, including fast and fresh options ready in just 15 minutes or less. And we want to thank HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit, for supporting Girls Gotta Eat. Go to HelloFresh.com/GGE16 and use the code GGE16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. I know that in the summer, the last thing that you want to think about is like shopping and cooking and taking all the time to do this. So HelloFresh makes it super simple. All the recipes are crazy easy to follow, tons of creativity, lots to choose from. There's 40 recipes to choose from weekly. They have snacks, lunch, dinners, tons of stuff that's really great for entertaining. And it just really takes the thought out of meal prep, which is great. And you can spend your time outdoors eating with people that you love. They have lots of fun stuff. They have falafel power bowls, garlicky shrimp couscous bowls, soy glazed salmon over rice. Everything I've ever made from there is super simple. Couldn't be easier. Always such a crowd pleaser or just great solo. And if you're traveling this summer, you can skip a week. You can change the delivery address. They make it so easy to just figure out what you want and get it and have a great meal. And we'll be guys a discount so that you can have something amazing too. Go to HelloFresh.com/GGE16 and use the code GGE16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping.
I go to put like one of my legs over his shoulder and he goes, "You want to get up there?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to get up there."
Hi guys. Welcome back to the Omicron edition of Girls Gotta Eat. It happened.
Do you remember the time that we took 1 week off and I didn't know what to say?
We're waiting. This is like the day before the episode comes out because girls got COVID. We'll talk about it. Rain and I are
singular girl.
Rain and I are very far apart. She's all the way across the room. We had to get in here and do this for you guys. How much we love you.
I'm in the kitchen. Ashley's on the couch. And we were supposed to record this week on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we pushed it to Saturday.
Yes.
We've canceled all of our other recordings. We canceled.
Oh my God.
And we're canceling next week.
No, we needed that break.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Welcome back to the final episode of 2021.
Okay, we're just going to take a quick break. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp Therapy Online. For 10% off your first month, go to betterhelp.com/GGE and start living a better life today. It is so easy to get caught up in what everyone else needs from you and never take a moment to think about what you actually need from yourself. But when you spend all of your time giving, it can leave us feeling stretched thin and burned out. Therapy can give you the tools to find more balance in your life so you can keep supporting others without leaving yourself behind or allowing people to take advantage of you in any aspect of your life. And we've done some great episodes about that. I totally agree with this sentiment. And I think therapy is really important and it's helpful for learning positive coping skills, how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself, and it can help in all aspects of your life, whether it's friendship, family, romance, career, whatever you're hoping to accomplish or just talk out. This can be really helpful. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire. You get matched with a licensed therapist. You can switch therapists anytime at no additional charge if you need to. I really recommend checking out if this is right for you. Find your balance with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GGE today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GGE.
We'll just get out of the way. I definitely have COVID, but I wouldn't know for sure because I went to the pop-up tent and got a free test and they have not told me. I was like, whatever. I started feeling sick. Everybody in New York has COVID right now. We all know this. It's not a laughing matter, but we laugh so we don't cry. So we can make jokes. City MD was trending yesterday on Twitter. It was iconic. Like, it's a mess. Everybody has it. I started feeling sick after Chicago. I'm on the tail end, I think. Again, we're recording, but we're sitting really far apart. And I have just felt like shit, but I I went to this like pop-up tent, which they're legitimate. It's not like they give you a legit COVID test, but I just have been waiting on results. And I emailed them for the results, and the email they sent me back sounded like a spam bot. And it said, your results are not ready yet. I cannot tell you exactly when the result will come since it does not depend on me. All right, one job. Is this a personal, who is this guy?
On?
I am doing everything in my power to ensure that the laboratory knows that your result is subject to urgent processing. Not urgent, just in the timeline you said. Your samples are still being processed. And then my favorite line, we will inform you immediately when the news comes out. Like it's a gender reveal.
Like you're on TMZ.
Like, yes, when the news. Jackie goes, did you get a DNA test? Like when when the news comes out.
It's funny to me when somebody's like, it's not up to me. It's like, but it literally is up to you. Like it's up to no one else but you. It's your only job.
It's so funny. I'm working to make sure they know it's urgent. It's not urgent. This email I sent you has been 48 hours, which you guys said I was supposed to get it back in. So we're on like a day 3. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like again, everybody has COVID right now.
Not me.
No, except for Raina. So get your booster.
Got that booster shot.
I did not get the booster. I am regretting it. I'm not anti-booster. I just
you didn't have a day to be sick.
I didn't have a day to be sick, but looking back, that would have been great. But again, there's no guarantees. But I feel like the people that I know that have gotten the booster either have avoided it in this wave or they're just way less sick.
Yeah. And everybody that we know, I mean, I had to tell my dad that he had COVID because I was just like, he was like, no, I'm fine. I have a cold and a sore throat. I'm like, Dad, you have COVID.
I have been diagnosing people all week, and
all year.
Actually. I love to tell people they have COVID, and I don't get off on them being sick, but like I love being right. That's what it's about. But like a couple people this week, like 3 people, I was just chatting with them. They weren't feeling well, and they were like, yeah, something's going around. I'm like, yeah. COVID. And this one guy that I'm friends with, he literally was like, I don't know, it's like a flu or a cold. It's not COVID. I go, did you get a test? He was like, no. I'm like, you got COVID. And he was like, listen, I'm going to go get an at-home test.
To prove you wrong.
He's nice. He was like, I know you want to be right, so maybe I do. And sure enough, came back.
I also gave Ashley a really good you were right moment this week. I like to live my truth, book trips and cancel them.
I told you were going to cancel a trip this year.
So I was going to go to Miami. You and I have just, whatever. Everybody works hard and everybody has hard jobs and everybody, is overwhelmed. But you and I have worked a lot. These holiday shows were a lot of work. I wanted to take a weekend in Miami. And I woke up Thursday morning and canceled my trip to Miami.
Oh, my God.
We woke up and we got like 10 texts from people being like, they have COVID.
Yeah.
So I was just like, this seems silly. And I don't want to miss Christmas at your family again. So I canceled my trip. I lived my truth. And I'm not going to Miami.
You're not doing anything.
I'm literally not doing
Raina,
anything.
and I told you, I was like, you don't have to come to Christmas. Like if you would rather go to Miami, like, but you can't probably do both. Like it's just so crazy. Like Raina's like, so I can't go to dinner with a friend. I'm like, probably not, bitch. It's crazy.
I've been trying to go to dinner with a friend. I tried to go last night and she was like, my boyfriend's daughter has COVID. I'm like, I guess I can't even do that.
It's been so crazy. Literally, I had a friend that was like, hey, I'm having a party Friday. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming to that. And then literally her next text was, never mind, my husband just got COVID. Like it's been insane. Francis called me. I answer, I go, you got COVID? He goes, yep. I was like, I knew. And we had to cancel our show. I canceled 5 stand-up shows this week. And I was just like, I think I was my immune system was like really vulnerable because of how like much we've been working and just stressing ourselves out and not sleeping as much. And COVID came in and was like, gotcha, bitch.
It's been nice. I've had to, Ashley won't take a break ever. She'll work until midnight, 2 a.m. every night. I had to be like, Ashley, please just relax. You're exhausted. You're up every night. Please just take a day off. It's okay. No one's gonna slit their wrists if we just like take a day off. You needed COVID to take a day off.
I know. Listen, I have been, we'll get to the, I've just been taking pictures of Azul and watching TV.
Yeah, it's been great. I'm just not doing anything, which is my truth. But yeah, this is, like she said, this is our last episode of 2021.
Oh,
so we want to say Merry Christmas to you guys and Happy New Year. Of course, we have a really exciting episode for you guys today. We're going to unpack Chicago, Sex in the City. We're going to do a gossip countdown from the year. We got some tea to spill and obviously our wrap-ups. And in the new year, we'll do resolutions and stuff like that. But
yes,
we hope that you guys have like a safe and happy Christmas and New Year's. And we love you guys. Thank you for being here with us.
Raina doesn't even say Happy Holidays. She says Merry Christmas. And you're Jewish. This is so funny. Like,
Hanukkah was forever ago.
You love Christmas.
I love it. Hanukkah was a long time ago, okay? Also, happy Hanukkah or whatever.
Yeah, guys, this episode is going to be just jam-packed full of like a lot of fun stuff. And you know, let's just do one ask. Our gift from you guys, you can leave a review for us, a 5-star review.
Leave a rating.
A rating. That's what I meant. Leave a rating.
Keep the reviews to yourself.
Yeah. Text your friend if you hate us. Also, thanks again to the haters, because we know you listen twice.
Yeah, we know you do. Okay. And you redline it. And you're
Thank you to the haters for all the downloads this year and the money. But we would love it if you guys are, if you listen on iTunes, wherever you listen is fine. But if you're over on there, just hit the 5 stars. We would appreciate it.
Yes, because we literally do care.
We literally do care.
And then we announced some new live shows. We'll be coming to Detroit, Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, and St. Louis. So that's all on sale for you guys. We have a couple tickets left in some other cities. So go to our website. Everything that's sold out is marked sold out. But check out everything on our site. And we have also extended the live stream.
Yes. So you guys can watch it while you all have COVID.
Exactly. I feel like this was a great time to extend it. So we have extended it until next week. I think it'll come down on the 26th at 11:59 p.m. So if you guys did not catch the live stream of the New York Holiday Show, it is so special. Thank you for all the tags. Your tags have been absolutely incredible. You've been having parties and charcuterie boards and snacks. It really like warms my heart. So thank you guys for all that. And you can still watch the New York City Holiday live stream. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at this one. And I didn't know if you saw it, and I didn't repost it because I was like, yikes.
What?
I was like, they are more Ashley's friends. Did you see the cocktails people made? It's not like a dig, but did you see these signature cocktails people made?
So.
I don't know what happened here. Also, like, these are snack heads. We love them. We're not dragging anybody. I thought it was very funny because it was like the Ashley as a cocktail, and it was like tequila, lime juice, whatever. And then it was the rain. And it was like a vodka Sprite.
That is so rude. I don't drink either of those things. I drink literally the tequila part of it. That is so rude. A vodka Sprite. Never in my life have I drank either of those things. All right, well, I'm glad you brought this up because someone else posted something very funny. It was a photo of her dog, like watching the live stream.
Yeah.
And I responded. I was like, oh, that's so cute, whatever. And she goes, I can't believe you responded this. This story is literally more Ashley's friend.
Oh my God. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, those girls wanted to drink vodka Sprites. So they just were like, let's drink what we like to drink, and we just have to name them after them. So good for them.
That's a good drink.
But it's really funny. I mean, I have been like really repping tequila lately, and I'm not even gonna say the name on this podcast. I don't get paid by them. Y'all know what I drink. I just have been giving out free ads. They're never gonna pay me. They don't need it. There's a shortage.
We love tequila. Okay, that's what I drink too. So yeah, thank you guys for all that. If you're looking for a last minute holiday gift, obviously our merch. You won't get it by holidays, but buy a gift card, buy somebody a ticket to a live show, buy a live stream ticket, all that at girlsgottepodcast.com.
Yeah, everything's on Girls Got Eat Podcast, but if you want just that direct link to the live show, it's momenthouse.com/Girls Gotta Eat. Okay.
You look confused.
I just blacked out. We have a lot to cover. We just wanted to briefly just chat about the Chicago show. It was so special. It was a dream. I mean, it was like your dream. I mean, it was my dream too, but it's like, I didn't realize, I think you had I think I was a little naive about just the like sheer iconicness of the Chicago theater. Like I kind of forgot, this is like I feel so stupid for saying this, but I kind of forgot that the Chicago theater is like the Chicago sign. Mm-hmm. Like it's literally like the thing. Yeah. Like I couldn't really believe it until I started getting tagged. I'm like, oh right, it is the most iconic theater ever. Mm-hmm. And to sell it out in one of our favorite cities, one of my absolute favorite cities, just can't stress enough. It makes me depressed to come back to New York because it's so clean and nice. And it's like this big bustling city that feels so like high energy and just, it's clean. It's crazy. How do they do it? New York should take notes.
Mm-hmm. Midwestern people are better.
But anyway, you can talk about more. I'm getting a little short of breath.
No, because you have COVID. No, it was my dream. It's all I've ever wanted was for us to sell the Chicago theater. I think we've each had like, the Beacon was also really special and important to me, but the Chicago theater was so special. And to have like my brother and my dad right there in the front row, watching me get a lap dance was, we'll talk about it, but it was incredible and it was really special. And I feel like I don't know. I've never suffered from like imposter syndrome. I've always been really excited, and I think we're worthy of every stage we take, and we work really hard to put on a great show. But like, I was on that stage feeling like we gave people the greatest show ever, and I was so proud of what we did. And I was just like, we have worked so hard for this, and I was so proud to like give people what we were able to give them.
Yeah.
And it was our last show of the year, so it was special. And just to do shows in general this year has been really wonderful. But that was really the cherry on top.
It was just a lot of things at once. It was the biggest show we've ever done by 1,000. Like it was the next biggest show was the show the week before at the Beacon. Like it was like this huge career milestone. It was the last show of the year. I love the city so much. Of course I love New York. I live here. It's my favorite city, but there's just something so special. And you and I have been there so many times together. Like it wasn't a city that I went to when I was younger. Like I've been going to Miami my whole life. We've gone there a ton together, but Chicago, I didn't even really start going till I was like friends with you. I'd been one other time for overnight for a work trip when I had a real job. But like you and I have been so many times together, and it's just like, I'm just love the city. Can't stress it enough.
I know. And it never stops being less special to me. Like meeting all you guys and seeing you and how excited you get, and performing for our families. It never like stops when you guys like run up to us and you're like, I love it so much. Like it never becomes less special. It never becomes less special to perform for our parents. Actually, I was at a bar. It was very funny. This girl came up and she was like, I'm so sorry to bother you. I'm sure you hate people do this. Like when you're with your family, I just want to say hi, blah, blah. My brother goes, she literally loves it. If you could go away and come back in 10 minutes and do it again, that would be great.
I mean, it was so fun. We had the Chicago Bears drumline. That was one of my favorite show openers.
You
like
killed it.
I almost fell. And I literally
5 minutes before the show, Ashley surprised me with how it would be entering the show. And I was a great sport about it.
listen, Raina is so great about this stuff. She just lets me do crazy stuff and she just goes along with it. And I can tell the look on her face. She's like, really?
I don't want to do it.
I gotta do this. I'm like, you're gonna be fine. Like, it's just very much like she's not really grasping what she's gonna have to do. And I'm like, no, you'll be good. And then I'll just do this and I'm gonna run through the crowd. Terrible idea. I ran through the crowd and almost fell getting up on the stage. My titty almost popped out, like got on stage in place right in time when the jets went off. Like it was wild. It was the most wild show. The Chicago Bears drumlines drumming. We're dancing. I'm sweating.
She made me announce the show from the back of the room and then dance our way down the aisle singing the song with everybody in front of 4,000 people.
I was like, Raina, you got this. Like, she's like, are you sure? Like
Every 5 seconds, I was like, yeah, here it is. We're not going to have to do it. And then Ashley was like, this is going to be fine. This is going to be fine. This is going to be fine. So yeah, I did it.
Yeah, 5 minutes before the show, you're like, you really want to do this? We're going to have to pass by all these people. And I'm like, we got to do it.
Yeah, you made me do it. It was really fun. It was a blast. If you guys came, thank you. Ashley hired me a stripper in both cities. I got crazy lap dances in both. I was just New York, if you guys saw the live stream, if you didn't, please watch it. But the stripper like picked me up. Both of my legs were over his shoulders. So my pussy was like in his face. And
he was a 12.
Oh.
He was one of the most attractive men I've ever seen.
Ever.
And I
What
got
a
to
smoke.
pick him out for you.
What a smoke. And
Yeah.
then you gifted me a fat stripper.
Raina, he was not fat. He had a little cushion for the cushion.
But
He wasn't fat. It wasn't Denver. We'd had fat strippers once.
So
And there's
in
nothing wrong with that.
In New York, the guy was so amazing. So like you guys couldn't see it probably from the audience, but he was whispering to me every single move he was about to make. So he was like, you're going to lift your left leg up and put it on my shoulder. And I was like, he walked me through the whole thing. It was incredible. In
amazing.
Chicago, the guy like picked me up and I was just like around his waist and I go to put like one of my legs over his shoulder and he goes, you want to get up there? And I was I was like, yeah, I want to get up there. So if you guys saw these two stories, he's rocking me back and forth like a baby in a cradle, trying to get the upper body strength.
Raina choreographed her own lap dance. It was not as smooth. It wasn't.
He had to rock me back and forth like 6 times before he found the upper body strength to put me on his shoulder.
Even in the hype video, I was trying to figure out why it didn't feel as high energy because it's so much slower. It was not tight. It was not smooth.
Even he looked at me like, yo, you really want to do that? I was like, yeah, put my pussy in front of your face. Let my dad film it.
He had a whole shtick. Like your dad was up out of his seat, standing, filming that part of the show and that part of the show only, and I'll never recover.
It was the most Amy Poehler, like Mean Girls mom in the aisle. My dad was
really
fully standing up, blocking people's views, filming it.
Anyway.
Our videographer was like, is that like really like, what's your dad's vibe? That's like fucked up. And I was like, he just sees his kid making people laugh and he doesn't care.
Well, I think your dad obviously like loves me. He knows that we're a duo, but I think that was this very special moment for you to shine. So he got up. I mean, he was like, he didn't care what it was. He doesn't, I feel like your dad isn't grasping what's happening. You're like pussies in this dude's face. Yeah, it was so great. I've stayed in touch with somebody from the show. We like brought this guy on stage. We've been like messaging. We couldn't get together because he was here, but we couldn't get together because, you know, Omicron.
He was very cute.
Yeah,
so I'm glad you guys stayed in touch.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, I just feel like we don't really meet a lot of guys at the shows. We're not male comedians where we get off stage, there's a bunch of people trying to fuck us. You know, it's just kind of like a different thing. There's very few single guys anyway that even come. In a room of 4,000, there was 3. You know what I mean? Like they're rarely even there.
Yeah.
Which is great. We love it to be like the safe space for women. We're not encouraging a bunch of like single dudes to fucking show up. Yeah, exactly. Just a few of you guys can come. 3 is great. We'll do a whole little thing with it. But I do feel like this year has been more where I did get like hit on after a show or something. So hopefully it'll be even more of that in 2022. I'll talk about my goals in a couple weeks, but you know, I still got the guy from Cancun. Like it was more so of feeling like, oh, like, wow, guys are interested. They come to the show, which is always so flattering. Cause like we really, you know, we share a lot. We talk about sex. We're like our true selves at those shows. So if a guy can handle that, I'm like, sign me up.
I feel like we'll talk later about like how COVID has like changed the world this year. But I feel like our shows, particularly like people are just so excited to be entertained. They're excited to be with their friends, with their partners more. So we've never had so many couples at the show and single guys that I think people's attitudes are just like, I'm just excited to be a part of something. I want to go and laugh and have fun. This seems unique and cool and crazy. And so we have a lot of single guys that come with their friends. They're just like, all right, I'll go to a comedy show. Like that looks wild and fun. I think people just have like expanded their mind in terms of like what they're willing to do for joy and like letting more of it in. And the audience, I think this year has been like even more fun than it's ever been. So it keeps getting better for me.
Yeah. And the shows have gotten so wild and out of control. Like, you know, no offense to like the Nutcracker, but like, can you imagine choosing between the two? I fell asleep in the Nutcracker the one time I went.
My mom
like,
used to take me every year when I was like 5,
Imagine
6.
being like, how much listen, no shade. How much do you pay to see the Rockettes? Like, it's the same thing. I can't kick my leg up in the air like that, but I'm going to shake my ass. And our show is so much more fun than literally anything else.
Also, I would say like 90% of things, I'll just catch it on Netflix. I'll just catch it on the internet. Like I'll watch it on TV.
Yeah, I mean, and even the live stream, like we love it, we're proud of it, but it's still not the same to like be in the room. Like comedy is just that. It's like you got to be in the room, feel the energy, see the craziness, you know, be up close.
So come. I am so excited to unpack this. And I got to tell you, we talked about this offline. I was worried that episode 3 was going to be not terrible. And so we weren't going to be able to rip this to shreds today.
Yeah.
Because the first 2 episodes, you and I watched it and I was like, is this as bad as I think it is? And then you live tweeted it to me. Like every thought and feeling you had for like hours this went on. And I was like, I fucking hate this. As it like washed over me, I hate it for a lot of reasons. I'm going to go through all of them, but I'm glad that number 3 was actually bad because I was worried I wasn't going to be able to like pop off so hard.
So I'm obsessed with watching it. We're all going to watch it. I wish I could watch more of it. Like we're going to watch it. Like this was
a money grab. That's what this was.
I mean,
everybody in America is watching this.
I know. I can't believe some of the decisions that they made. I mean, I will say that like Sex and the City is the most important show of my entire life. It's my favorite show of my whole life. So I'm super bummed out by some of the things that they're choosing to do, and we'll talk through it. Also, and guys, there's going to be spoilers ahead, just FYI. Like the whole world knows what happened at this point, but like we are going to be giving spoilers up until at this point, all 3 episodes. So that being said, I just have to say that you guys know I talked about Big Dying on our January 17th episode with Tunde, who was a Peloton instructor. I can't even believe it myself. I can't, because I was like, what episode did I talk about Big Dying? And that's what I thought should happen, and that Carrie should date again and stuff like that. And I was looking for something else, and I was like, oh, there it is. Then I was like, this was with the Peloton instructor. I can't even believe it.
I cannot believe it. I cannot believe I mean, I tell you guys all the time, Ash is a witch.
I am a witch. So, 100% that witch.
That was fucking crazy. And we've had a couple of people randomly remember that. Like we've had a couple of listeners DM us about it.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you did that. And I think that, yes, I am extra, I don't like remakes in general. I think that things that were really special at one point, that you can just let them live in the 100%. Past. Like I don't need it. And I think that like remaking this was a money grab, but I feel like I'm upset because like that show was so important to me. City, it was like that was the example for how I was going to be in my life. Like when I was younger watching this, I always knew I'd live in New York City. And like this was a show about like the most forward thinking cosmopolitan women in the world. They have like revolutionary ideas about like when to get married and have kids and what to have sex and how to have sex and friendship. And I thought these women were like the most forward thinking, interesting women in the most forward thinking, interesting city. And they've turned them all into bumbling idiots. Like every one of these women, I told you, it's like they've been frozen in time since the show ended and they've been re-released into the wild. None of them has ever been around a minority. All of them have like a token minority they've been assigned on the show. It's like, you get a minority and you get a lesbian minority and you get a minority. And I feel offended by it. I feel offended by this manufactured wokeness that is being rammed down our throats.
It's like, obviously everybody knew that so much stuff from Sex and the City didn't age well, but it was with the times. It was in the 90s, some of it, in the early 2000s. So you cannot compare something from 20 years ago to now. You cannot put it against now, just like you can't compare something from 1970 to 1990, 1950 to 1970. You just can't. It's totally different times. The Sex and the City at its time was ahead of its time. It was not problematic. Stuff didn't age well, of course. Like everything else made then, a lot of things in the movie. So it's like they took everyone's notes of being like there wasn't enough. Like also the Sex and the City, I don't know. I mean, yes, it was all white, but you know, they had gay characters. I mean, it wasn't the most, it wasn't Friends. I mean, you know, so it was kind of more forward in its time, but it's like they kind of wanted to make it so much more woke and it feels so forced. Like I really think they could have just had more inclusive characters, focused on their storylines and just had it feel more natural overall than the way that they went about it. I mean, I just have so many issues with the show. Like, first of all, Samantha's storyline is such bullshit. Samantha was like a ride or die friend. This whole thing of that line that Carrie was like, I didn't realize I was an ATM to her. What the fuck? That was so out of character. That wasn't who Samantha was. Like, it's just so dirty that they did her like that. And then Miranda with like, this encounter that she had with the black professor, like Miranda was cooler than that.
There's no continuity for me from the previous characters. Yes. Miranda was a partner at a law firm dating a black man, lived in Brooklyn, and they have actually acted like she can't function in a room with a black person.
I mean, it's so crazy. Like you have the best example of like, it feels like they froze them in time and plopped them into 2021. And it's like, this is so insulting. And like Charlotte, I mean, I don't know. I don't think you think Charlotte's like coming across a little more like stupid. I think Charlotte's kind of the same. Her character feels the same to me. Carrie is a bigger cunt than she even was before. Carrie, Rain and I've decided that no one would be friends with Carrie. Carrie sucks so bad. She's so nasty. Like her little remarks, she's like a snarky bitch. Like, and she was before too, but it almost feels like worse now. And her face looks mean. She just looks mean. She's so mean.
I don't love fiction in general. I love reading fiction, and I tend to gravitate towards like documentaries and reality TV series because I don't like characters that are written in a way that they would never behave. And like the way that Carrie acts, it's just like jab, 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 jab. Yeah. It's just like cunty remark, bitchy, cunty, judgmental remark. And a lot of her remarks are about judging people's sexuality and what they do in the bedroom. And by the way, I went back and rewatched a bunch of Sex and the City to make sure how bad the continuity was about it. And I will say she's always been a judgy bitch. Yes. She's always been really nasty. But to watch this was like very crazy. And I feel like there was at the very end of the third episode is a scene that like really like upset me and bothered me because Charlotte's like, hey, I'm worried about our friend that's an alcoholic. Yeah. And Carrie was like, if you're going to do this, I'm going to need a drink. No one talks like that. Why aren't we just like writing characters a little bit truer to how human beings act? I know she's a flawed person. She's not supposed to be this like incredibly always likable, wonderful person. But like, I don't know. I don't understand her character. She was supposed to be this like prolific sex writer, this relationship and dating writer. And again, I did go back to make sure she wasn't really actually a sex writer. And she wasn't. She was really not talking about her sex life that much.
And they didn't show her having sex like the other ones. Yeah.
They did not. And also like there is a scene from the Sex and the City movie where they're all saying how many times they have sex per week with their husbands. And Carrie's like, not doing it, not going there.
But like, I fucking hate that scene.
This idea that she would be cast as the co-host of a podcast, this woman who is gender fluid, she's bisexual, she's a minority, and Carrie's sitting there shaming everybody for talking about masturbating. It's just, there's no continuity for me. It's ridiculous. No one would ever have her on the show.
I was so triggered when Carrie, this like Sex in the City was her column name, and she wouldn't talk about masturbation. I was like, is this Chelsea Handler? I was like, I'm having literal flashbacks from our Chelsea Handler experience, which that's what, I mean, you guys know what happened, but I want to go back to what you said about, I mean, we're talking about these people like they're not fictional characters, but I read this thing that was like, I think the writers hate their characters, which was like such an interesting thing. Like the writers are writing this, you know, like maybe they're just like, the joke's on you. We fucking hate these characters. They're all like terrible. I mean, I don't know. I think more just so Carrie, but I read this comment. I was just like reading comments on different articles and stuff like that. And this one stuck out to me. And this woman said, also, why were 50 something year olds portrayed like 90 year olds? You have these beautiful, vibrant actors and they were reduced to stereotypes. Older people can't hear. They don't have sex. They aren't woke. It was strange and unnerving. It made me sad as a 47-year-old, like I'm on the brink of death rather than celebrating woman.
What's the very first thing I said to you as soon as you started? I was like, they will not stop talking about how old these characters are, and it's bizarre. It's like over the gray hair and the hearing. Steve's 50 and you gave him 2 hearing aids.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking about people that, again, live in one of the most cosmopolitan cities in the world that have money, and you're like, all these 55-year-olds are so disconnected from the world. It's the first thing I said to you. It's so weird.
It is so weird. And, you know, I think Carrie has always been technologically challenged. Like, you know, Carrie didn't have a cell phone. She had a flip phone. Like that is in line with her to be a little bit behind the times, but they were, and also sexually, like whatever. I guess I'm kind of like, Carrie's kind of stayed a little more true to her character. I think I'm so offended by Miranda and by the Samantha storyline.
Me too.
And you were so upset about that scene with her and Charlotte. She said to her, she goes, can you stop noticing stuff? That was the line.
That was the line.
Carrie has always been such a bitch to Charlotte. One of the scenes that sticks out to me the most, I'll never forget. I think there's like there's like a dozen of scenes where Carrie was just such a shitty friend. And you guys, the real ones will remember this, but Charlotte was telling them how Trey couldn't get it up on their honeymoon. That's a huge deal. She waited to sleep with him the night before. She just kind of had to go through with the wedding because she was like, maybe it was just a fluke. And Carrie was great. She was like, it's okay, honey. It happens to everybody. But like she came back from the honeymoon and they were all sitting and they were all 4 there, and then everybody left and it was just Carrie and Charlotte, and Charlotte's like, I want to continue to talk about this basically, and Carrie goes, what do you want me to say? It was still shakes me to my core. She wants to talk to you about it at length. Your husband can't fuck you. Sit here for hours and talk about it. You and I would sit there for hours. Carrie had to go shopping. Like, it was like the way she said it to Charlotte. I think that she has, oh my God, I can't stress enough. These are fictional characters.
I don't care. I feel personally offended by all of them.
Has always disrespected Charlotte, I think. I think she has always held more respect for Miranda and Samantha, and it just has become more glaring. And they do make Charlotte just seem like she's like a bumbling idiot sometimes, you know, and she's just a sweet woman. Like, she's a sweet, caring woman, you know, like she's trying to navigate this thing with her daughter. Like, I think Carrie's such a bitch to her.
And also, maybe that's not your vibe. Like, maybe you're like, I need friends that are edgier. I need friends that are like a little bit like cooler. Like, then don't be friends with her. But like, yeah, no one would behave like this. No one would tolerate it. Like, I would never like kick a friend that was like that was like so nice and kind. The alcoholism thing really bothered me, that they like even wrote it like that. I know Carrie's supposed to be a bitch, but like no one would behave like that. It's like really bizarre to me.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. And the Samantha thing, I mean, I think that like that character was such a badass and such a loyal friend, and nobody is so small and petty that they lose a friend and they leave the continent and then ice everybody. That just doesn't exist.
And it wasn't who Samantha was. Like, Samantha was like, she was the first one to offer up money to Carrie when Carrie couldn't afford her down payment on her apartment or whatever. Like, it wasn't who she was. So it just feels like, yes, like we have totally lost who these people were. Like, I mean, yeah, of course we're going to watch the show. I don't understand what happened here. I really don't get it. And I'm like just bummed out because this was like such a wonderful opportunity to portray women in their 50s in such a way that they have just decided not to do.
I totally agree. And I actually love Miranda's storyline of Steve and I have been together for years. We don't have sex. Like, this is just my good friend. I don't know where that sort of leaves me. And I think that's really interesting. I think a lot of couples can relate to that. And a lot of couples can relate to like, how did we get here? And is this enough? But they have to also make her this person that like like can't again function in a room around a black person. And the whole thing with Brady, listen, the least believable thing is that Ginger Brady is getting rode like a cowboy porn star in his parents' house, just coming all over the place, and they're just like, let him get ridden.
It's so weird. I mean, Miranda is going to hook up with Che, or something's going to happen, which Remy has been just dissecting it. Remy Casimir, which I like watching her commentary. And she's like, but is she going to cheat on Steve? Like, is that how we want Miranda's coming out to be with cheating? Like, that's not great. So we'll see. And then Jenny, I just want to talk about predictions. Jenny had said she thinks Carrie's going to hook up with the producer, the podcast producer. And I think that maybe what their goal is that they wanted to start them out episode 1, 2 as like these really confused, not with the times ladies, and they're going to transform by the end of it. But I still don't respect it because it's still not realistic. Like, they would have been more modern and woke in general in 2021. These women would have been. So I don't like that, like you said, they like took them out of the time capsule, plopped them down, and now they're going to evolve as the season goes on. I don't love it, but I think that's what's going to happen. Miranda, who couldn't not bring up this woman's braids, now she's going to sleep with this non-binary person, like whatever. Like that, I think they're going to try to do that. Carrie's going to start fucking. She's going to fuck one of those bakery dudes at Anthony's bakery. I think they're going to make them evolve, but I don't like how they kicked it off. It wasn't necessary.
I agree. And I can't really move on. I love the listener DM that you read, because I think that they like really did women in their 50s a disservice by acting like this. It's like really weird. There's no reason to do it, and they can't stop doing it. It's very bizarre. I also am wondering what you think about this. I know that, again, Carrie's supposed to be like a little insufferable, but this whole storyline that she like doesn't seem to care that he died, it's like very weird that all 3 episodes that like, I guess like they're building towards some like psychotic meltdown she's gonna have eventually, where she like leans in and she cries, or maybe she like gets on the Peloton and rides off.
That's what that was. I was gonna say they're gonna like turn around with this Peloton story. Carrie's gonna get on it.
She's gonna get on it. She's gonna cry and she have a breakthrough. But like, I don't know. Like, she doesn't care about her husband dying. Like, it's so weird to me.
Well, he was a rapist, so. No, I'm kidding. But I don't want to go without saying that.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at. I'm laughing at the shock of what Ashley said to me, not the rape stuff.
I know, because the meme is like, now we know why Carrie didn't call 911. No, you guys, we're not taking it lightly. I don't want to talk about this without not addressing that we know all the allegations against Chris Noth.
Yeah. I mean, it's horrific. Our heart goes out to anybody that's a victim of that. Yes, of course. But in general, I think that it's weird that they act like she shouldn't save him from dying. It's not a hot take. Like, he just was like, he looked like he just had like an upset stomach and some gas.
Well, they were saying that like they loved the way that the producers did it, or like they had this moment that they shared where they knew it was over. I'm like, all right, this is stupid. Like, what? It was very weird. I mean, I guess they're like the show. I was watching another show too, where this woman's husband died and she just kind of went on with her life. She had a meltdown later, which I know people react to grief differently, but I guess they just can't show her fucking laying on the floor crying, because like that was the whole
first Sex and the City movie.
That's true. She was more upset in Mexico.
She was more upset that she got embarrassed at her wedding than she was when he actually died.
It was totally different energy in Mexico.
Totally different.
The energy in Mexico was your husband died. Was how she acted.
100%.
I rewatched that recently. Like, it was just on TV, and I still love the movie. The first one. The second one we pretend doesn't happen. But she never even like thanked them for dropping their lives and going to Mexico with her. The way she acted, shut the blinds. All of them. No, I'm not eating. Like, she acted like they were a burden on her. Like, if that was me, like when you guys surrounded me after Dewey died, like, yes, I was like a crying mess, but all I could do was be like, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. You don't have to be here. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Like, I'm so grateful. I'm so lucky to have you guys. Like, her energy was like, I can't believe they're here with me on this Mexican trip. Like, it was like, I couldn't get over it rewatching it. Just what a self-absorbed brat she really is. I mean, her character.
I mean, again, I try to like manage them. Like, who was this character supposed to be? She wasn't supposed to be that likable. She was flawed. But like, this person was the beacon for me of like, everybody my age moved to New York City because they want to be a writer like Carrie, and they want to date their big. Like, everybody my age moved here to have the Carrie experience. And it's like, no one should want to be like that. She's a shitty fucking friend, and she was with a narcissist, probably sociopath, asshole fuckboy. And all of us, go back and listen to our episode. Fuck you, Carrie Bradshaw. It still carries through to today. I hate that was my pinnacle of like what I was supposed to be like. And I'm like, I literally hate you.
I know. It's just so crazy. Like, we just didn't totally realize just how nasty she was. Anyway, all right. Are we good? Do we feel like we wrapped it up? I think that we may do a bonus. Listen, no promises, but I feel like we should probably do a bonus after it ends.
Okay.
So that'll be like early February and just like see if we were right.
Yeah.
Chris Noth will be in jail.
We'll still hate it. Yeah, but Chris Noth will definitely be in jail.
As he should be. That was crazy. Peloton was like, let's turn this around and get him in a commercial. And they're like, oh shit.
They were bragging so hard they turned around in 48 hours. Now they're like, whoops. Maybe we should have given it a week. You guys fucked up.
I really can't. The Peloton memes, like everything about the Peloton, their stock plummeted. We're not like we love Peloton. I'm looking at it. Yeah, I couldn't stop talking about it. People probably thought I hated the brand. I'm like, no one loves the brand more than me. I'm staring at the bike. I'm sitting on the bike.
I literally sit eye level with the seat where your sweaty vagina sits every day on it. Every day I just sit there. I was thinking about that today. I don't know why I said that.
Wipe
but just
it
so
down.
You guys know, I don't wipe mine down.
We didn't talk about our other
next?
recs. We just need to kind of like blow through them.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
a long episode. But we both watched The Sex Lives of College Girls on HBO and just were obsessed with it.
We're obsessed with it. And I actually
We knew we would be. Everybody recommended it.
What I said to you is I think that show actually accomplished what Sex and the City was trying to accomplish. And you brought up a good point, which is that naturally people that are 30 years younger than those women, 40 years younger in some cases, are just going to have an easier time talking about homosexuality, bisexuality, being non-binary, etc. But I love what they did. All 4 characters are great and unique, and they feel like normal girls. And I feel like they really talk about all kinds of themes throughout this, about coming out to your family, about whatever it is, exploring yourself in college in a way that feels natural and normal to me. And I loved it.
I loved it so much. The character development is so wonderful. You really feel like each of these girls has their own story and you're getting to know them. I mean, I love Bella, who is the comedian, obviously, and she's so I'm like laughing out loud at the show. I think it's so funny. I think she is so funny. When she's talking about that guy wanting to fuck her, she calls him a chuckle fucker. Like, I love that. I've heard that term before. I'm sure that I've experienced it. But
I've been a chuckle fucker.
Rita is a chuckle fucker.
I do. I see guys on stage being funny and I want to fuck them. Yeah.
But I love all the characters and their unique storylines and how these girls are coming together. And I'm such a fan of the show. We can't recommend enough. So many, you guys, that was in a while, that's been the most where people told us to watch it. And like, we knew we would. I just, had to get COVID to sit down and watch it.
Well, the name was deterrent to me because I don't love shows about high school and college kids as much as you do. But also Bella told us to watch it, our assistant Bella, not the character.
God, yeah.
And she was like, and I said to her, like, listen, I'm not going to relate to this. I could be your mom. But I really related to it. And I thought it was like so special.
I love it. And the campus is beautiful. It was filmed at Vassar, which is in Poughkeepsie.
I had to ask you where it was filmed. It is really beautiful.
I mean, I just Googled it.
I Googled it too, but I also asked you first.
And then I watched Maid on Netflix. I'm just blowing through the shows this week. Maid, man, it is the most emotional roller coaster I've ever been on. It just brings you up and drops you right back down. It is just heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. I don't even know that I can say I like love it. I definitely recommend it. I enjoyed watching it. It's heavy. It's like domestic violence. It's alcoholism. There's some infertility. It tackles a lot of heavier subjects. And there's this female protagonist who you're rooting for the whole time, but it just feels a little dark because she lives in poverty. So it's like, I feel like the Queen's Gambit, kind of same thing. She comes up, then she comes down. She comes up, she comes down. Something comes out of nowhere and kind of knocks her off her game, and you're like rooting for her. But it didn't feel as dark. The Queen's Gambit didn't feel as dark as Maid to me. But I think it's worth the watch. You're not going to leave feeling really depressed. I'm not going to like give any spoilers away, but I felt really emotional about it. Insanely good character development. You just get so emotionally invested in these characters and you're like, wait, are they good? Are they bad? Oh my gosh. Are they a redeemable character? Oh no, they're bad again. Like, it's a wild ride. It's like, just when you think things are going to be okay, you like just get knocked out from under you, which is what living in poverty is like. And so I just think of this really well done look at the life of like a single mom living that way, and just how like the system fucks you over and over and over. I mean, it's just like a really sobering view at like our system too, and here in America. So I do recommend it. If you're feeling like you don't want to watch something about that, but then maybe it's not the time for you. Or if those themes kind of like apply to your life, like if you have, that some of the alcoholism stuff spoke to me, and just experiences I've had with friends and family members in my life where I was like, oof, like it kind of, it's just they did a good job in like really depicting this type of thing. But I was at points where I was like texting my mom because my mom watched it. I'm like, do I like this? I don't even know. I feel sad.
Well, that's why I've avoided it because I haven't been ready for a sad show. But I will say I put on my Instagram story a couple weeks ago, like what show should I watch? And probably like top 3 were like that, Ted Lasso, Dope Sick, and like a couple other things.
I haven't watched Ted Lasso. No shade. They say that's the most feel good show.
Yeah, that's
so,
true.
Made and Ted Lasso. If you watch Made, you just do a palate cleanse with Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I just have to recommend the 4 seasons Total Landscaping documentary.
You watched it?
I watched it. I think it was MSNBC, but I watched it on YouTube TV. You can find it. You guys can Google it. But the funniest thing about it was the Philly accents. It is a documentary about Philly accents. It is just, you don't watch a lot of the Philly accent so specific and it's not like, so widespread. It's different than Pittsburgh.
It's like, different than Pittsburgh. I'm so excited that you brought this up and watched this tonight. I can't wait.
It's an hour. It's easy.
Yeah. I want to tell people to watch because everybody's COVID now. They're gonna be home with their families and being bored and shit.
Those are my recs.
The Succession season finale came out this week. People asked me to talk about this. I talk about it. It's a phenomenal show. It's amazing. I'm not gonna give any spoilers. Watch the show. Ashley and I continue to watch Insecure and Curb every week. They never disappoint. I'm obsessed. I love it. Those are our recs. All right, what do we do next?
Okay, let's talk about what we've learned this year.
Okay. I'm going to start by saying I'm going to declare this the year of the breakup. Not just my breakup, not just every celeb breakup. We're going to pour out a little liquor later for the couples that broke up this year. But this is the year that people broke up with their not relationships only, but jobs. People just had like a mass exodus from shit I don't want to do anymore. Mm-hmm. And I have like loved watching it. I have like, I think like come June, we're at this turning point and everybody was like, I get to do life again. I get to do the world again. And I think like you and I did that, why is everybody breaking up episode in like October, a week before my breakup. And I feel like we were like, why is this happening? But I feel like this whole year has just been about like, okay, the world really actually could end next week. My parents could die next week. I could lose my life or my spouse or whatever. And it's like, shouldn't I spend the rest of my life doing a thing that makes me happy? Mm-hmm. And so we saw so many people like walk away from jobs and friendships that were making them happy and relationships. And I feel like for me, not that I ever wasn't happy, but I feel like you and I have like built more things into our lives. Like we hired people to help us finally. Mm-hmm. And I feel like our jobs have been better. And I feel like our friendship has been better. I feel like I'm proud that I've started to actually tell people how I feel about things when I never did before. And I was in a relationship with somebody that I really cared about that was wonderful and that ended. And I can walk away from that saying to myself, I'm at least proud of myself that I picked a nice person. And that's growth. And that's wonderful. And I feel like this was everybody's year of like, I'm not doing shit I don't like anymore. I'm not doing a job I don't like anymore. And I don't know, it's strengthened my relationships and how I feel about myself. Cause I feel really proud of the things that I've leaned into that I like and walked away from things that I don't want, they're not valuable to me.
I love that. And I think that is totally accurate. I think you're right. Like, it's like, if you really deduce all these things, the breakups, the jobs, it all boils down to that, like, shit I don't like. And it's like, I don't have the time for it. Like it took 2020, we learned like, life is short, life is valuable, spend times with the ones you love. And then I feel like you're right. In 2021, it just was like, fuck this. Mm-hmm. Like 2020, we were just really all trying to survive. And then when when the smoke cleared a little bit, even though we're back where we are, it was just like everybody had a wake up call.
Mm-hmm. And people have said to me a lot, like, how have you, like, you seem fine about the breakup. You seem fine. And like, I don't know. I'm fine because like that was a nice person and I loved him and we cared about each other, but I realized this wasn't right for me and I moved on with my life. And I think that hopefully we're all getting better at just evaluating something and saying like, that's not right for me and walking away from it. You don't have to hate somebody or hate yourself for being a part of something, but like we can change and we can pivot and we can make things better and we don't have to like regret them and miss those things so much.
Mm-hmm. I love that. This year was like I look back in this year, I'm like, man, it was so many highs and so many lows. I think you and I cried more this year than ever before. Like, I know 2020 was 2020, like, don't get it twisted, but like something about this year, just a lot of shit went down, but also we had crazy highs. Like, we are starting this whole other venture. Like, we did the biggest show we've ever done. Like, we've had a lot of highs, but there's been a lot of lows. Not really. I mean, you and I, we had a friendship come to Jesus in late summer, but like, we've been strong. We've had each other's back. We always will. I'm so thankful for our friendship, but it just felt like a lot of shit went down. Like I started the year with grief, 8 days into the year, like Dewey died. And I feel like that I don't need to recap what I learned about grief. We did a whole episode on it. You guys can listen to it from February. But like, I think it kind of dovetails into the other stuff that I want to talk about that I've learned this year. I think I've really learned not so much lean on friends and family. I'm not a person that's like, I don't need anybody. We always have said like, let people help you, lean on friends and family. But for some reason this year, I feel like I've learned to like trust people more, like to help me, like that your friends know what's best for you. I have like so many examples. Like I just think of like you just telling me like, you need to keep this dog, like whether you see it or not. Like I felt so clouded, and I just felt like when Dewey died, like Kate was like, come to LA, just do it. Like, come to LA. I'm going to take care of you the entire week. I have our dinners planned out. LA was closed, but she was like, I have this planned out. Like, I remember thinking of like wondering if I should go to Dewey to look at that house that I wanted to buy. And my dad goes, just come. Like, there's been these times where I've been like trying to make a decision and I can't make it on my own. And I've like let people like step in for me. And I think I've always been a kind of person that's like, I got this. Everybody knows I got this. My parents have said since I was a kid, you can't tell Ashley what to do. She's going to do what she's going to do. So it's not that like, I don't listen to advice or anything like that. Like I'm not that kind of person. Like I hold my friends and family in such high regard and like the things that they help me work through. But just this year more than ever, I feel like sometimes I just couldn't like trust my gut, and I needed the people that were closest to me to like really give me clarity. And I feel like I've been less afraid to admit that I'm overwhelmed or I can't do this and I need help. And I think that flows into like us hiring people to help us. Like I've always been hesitant to kind of like let somebody in to our life and this thing that we built. And I have never been someone's boss, but I mean, I think ultimately like we made this hire, and it's just like, it's helped me like release a little control and like not feeling like I have to be in control all the time, and like let people help. It just will improve your life professionally, your mental health, all the things. I mean, at least that's my experience, our experience in this past year. So I just feel like that was such a valuable lesson, being able to let go, trusting a little bit more, and just like take a break. And like the world's not going to fall apart if you take a day off, and like take care of yourself. And health is so important. I've been more sick this year than I've ever been in my entire life. I feel like I can't even brag about this immune system anymore. I started the year, I got a yeast infection, and then I got those 2 crazy colds. I was down and out for a week with my nose. Like now I've COVID. Like it's just kind of like, I have learned to value that and just like leaning on people and letting them help you. And everything I've reflected on, like I feel my stand-up has changed drastically. I've learned to like let go of the jokes and do more crowd work. I had this like heart to heart with Julio at your birthday where he was like, Ashley, you're so funny. You just be yourself. You don't have to like be a slave to your jokes. Just do, you're so funny in conversation. Like just do more crowd work. And like, it meant so much to me. And like, I let that go. Like I've gone up on stage and done stand up when I just didn't even have a plan. I used to have a tight plan. I used to know exactly what I was doing. I barely strayed from it. Like I've learned to like trust myself even a little bit more. Like a lot of it just all kind of goes into this letting go of the control, trusting other people that they, know what's best for you. Don't have to hold everything so tight, I guess.
You feel lighter and happier than any time I've ever known you. You feel like you not take things on the chin more. I don't know what the wording is I'm looking for, but you feel a little bit lighter. And you and I both are people who are like painfully self-sufficient. Like I didn't have parents that did everything for me either. Like I had parents that helped me. Our parents love us, but like I have always been somebody who just like, I depend on me. I make all the decisions and I help myself. And so it's really hard for me to like agree to hire an assistant and to hire other people and to let other people be a proxy for us. Like that is so scary for me. And like, it's crazy because like we finally let go and did that. And like, I think we're just both happier. I think our relationship's better with each other. I think that our business is better. I think that like I used to get off stage sometime with you and like you and I don't even know like if you acknowledge this or realize this, but you and I would like walk off stage all the time and be like, I didn't like this thing. I didn't like this thing. I'm like, I could have said this thing better. And now I feel like we walk off stage and we're just like happy. We're just like so excited to have done it. Bella's there. She makes the show so great. Like I think we've just like let happiness in a little more. And I mean, I wouldn't have thought of it as that we've like let other people help us, but yeah, we've like accepted help and it's made everything better.
I mean, and it's like I just released the grip a little bit. Like again, sometimes it happens where you literally get to a breaking point where you're like, I don't care, I can't do it anymore, so someone else has to do it. And like, this isn't a conversation all about Bella, but it was huge for me to like let someone in that way. I've like been learning to be more patient, like learning that like you really can like give someone the keys and let them fly. And like, yes, they're terrible, lazy, stupid people that you shouldn't trust with your business. Like, don't get it twisted. Rain and I put trust in people and they fuck us. Like, that's why we say merch is a journey. We have fired multiple merch companies. Like, we do actually let people handle part of the business and they fuck us up. So this isn't a like, let anyone help you. Like, you know, but we did find the right person. And, you know, I think that with a smart, hardworking, like savvy person, if you can let go and trust them to make your life easier and improve your parts of your business, it's just been such a joy. And I'm just so thankful. And we hired someone else too. Her name's Ashley. She works for us. Like it just all kind of comes together. Like I've always been super type A in control person. And I'm just like slowly letting go. And it's just made me happier too. And a lot of that I just feel like happened this year.
You are even more so than me, like the most self-sufficient person. Like you got it. Like you're creative, you know how to make decisions. You're the only person that I would ever let be a proxy for me wholly, completely. Like I would just be like, talk to Ashley, she's got it. Other than the people that work for us now at this point. But you do seem happier and lighter. And it's nice. I've always loved you and I've loved our friendship. But yeah, you seem lighter and you still know that like your vision's going to be executed. But like hiring an assistant was tough for me and I didn't know how that was going to go. Also, it's hard for me to like spend money and like it stresses me out. But I like watched Bella like walk into the last 2 shows and just like handle it. And I'm just like, you and I can go do something else. And I'm so impressed by it. Like you said, like you give somebody the keys a little bit and like a little bit of rope to hang themselves and they can learn and be amazing.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, this is all about Bella. Like we'll have her on one day. Don't worry, you guys. She could not have done that day one. Like, and I've always been a kind of person like, whatever, I'll just do it myself. Like I'm impatient. I know I can do something the best way that it can be done. So you have to teach people, you have to let them, you know, learn. But I've always been a person like, I don't have time for that. I'll just do it myself, which is like not really the way to be if you find the right person to do it. Cause her growth since June is insane. Like what she did at the Beacon was, I could cry thinking about it. Like she runs the show. She's in charge. We ask her what's going on. Like, and we did that. Like we taught her and then let her fly.
Yeah, it would have been really scary for me to do that like a year ago. I think our business manager said to us a couple days ago, they were like, you have the leanest crew of anybody that we manage. And they manage dozens and dozens of people in the entertainment world. And they were just like, you guys don't hire anybody. And we're like, I know, we're working on it. But I am really proud of it. I feel like this has been a good year. I hate when people are like, it's been the best year. It's like, we're in a pandemic. Okay, relax. Yeah. But it has been a really good year. And it's just, I feel like even more support from our audience than I ever have. And I love reading your guys' messages. I've like never felt so supported by people. Like when I went through my breakup, I got like hundreds of messages from women just like sharing their stories. And we love you guys if you've like stuck with us through all this. I mean, thank God for you. And we like love you so much.
I know. And lastly, I learned to not have sex on the floor. A hardwood. If you can fuck on a carpet, but I said it at the live stream and I shared my experience. So if you know, you know. Don't do it.
Also, what else happens here? I got an IUD, which is great.
Oh my God.
I'm thrilled with it. I'm going to get new boobs in 2022, which I'm also thrilled about. Oh my gosh. So 2022 will be the year of new titties. So 2021 was the last year of the titties.
Last year of the titties. We have to have a goodbye party. Are we ready for our year in review?
I'm so excited because last year was so fun and you did it. So I did a roundup of the gossip of the year, but I'm going to let you go through yours first because it's so funny. And then if you missed any.
Okay. So I just wanted to breeze through 2020 just for reference.
Okay.
So you guys know kind of the vibe we're going for. So 2020, the best 10 moments of 2020. We started with Love is Blind. Then we had Banana Bread Movement and Zucchini Gate.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Then we had Normal People. Then we had WAP, Taylor Swift's 2 albums, Claire and Dale.
Clarendale made my list this year too.
Oh my God. We had Michelle Obama's DNC speech. We had Chart Throb, John King, and the rest of the CNN zaddies. We had The Fly, and then we had 4 Seasons Total Landscaping. So 2020 was a lot of more like political based stuff. 2021, I mean, listen, I know that you guys are gonna be like, you forgot about this. I don't care. I know everything that happened. I went through it and I only did 9 because I was like, there are a bunch of stuff that like kind of all go together for me. I'm not going to bring up Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. I'm not doing it. Like I chose what I chose and this is personal to me. And if you don't like it, I don't care. Okay. So without further ado, 2021 started hot with Bridgerton. It changed the world. It changed the world.
You ever think that you would masturbate to Regé Jean Page?
That's what I'm saying. To a Duke. What people didn't even know what a Viscount was till that show came out. Like that show really was like so unique and so special. And that's how we started the year. Next up, Bernie's Mittens.
Okay. This is such a joy for me to relive this with you.
I feel like that was the most memeable thing of the year, and it happened so early in the year. So some people kind of forget. Next was Sex Life on Netflix and what it did to me. And it made me call a stranger to come over because I thought I was going to fuck in a hot tub. But like, it fucked me up.
Okay.
In a good way. I don't even know how to say it. That show just changed me. And it was the best full frontal scene of 2021, which no one can deny. Freeing Britney, obviously. Goes without saying.
Freed Britney.
It obviously all culminated this year. The Free Britney movement was like more intense than ever, and then she got freed. Crazy.
When you work hard on something, it happens.
Yeah, work hard. Olivia Rodrigo's Driver's License and the whole album, it just turned us all into like emo teens.
I remember when you told me about it, and you're like, you gotta listen to this. I was standing in my bathroom. Remember the first time I
Number
listened
one
to
song
it?
of the year. I listened to it on repeat. All right, the next one. What?
On my list, I have, we found out that the royal family is kind of racist and no one is surprised.
Yeah, jump in if they go together.
No, except for Oprah.
I know. So one of the biggest moments of the year on like all the roundups, because I read a few, were like that interview, but I'm like, there's one part of the interview that was the best.
That's it. I knew you were going to bring it up. And Ashley and I say it all the time.
Okay, next up, Kanye living in the Georgia Dome. I feel like there's so much
We don't talk about this enough.
I feel like there's so much like Kardashian stuff. I'm like, no, I have one thing that pertains to the Kardashian family, and that's Kanye living in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in
That
Atlanta.
is so amazing. I have one too, and it's going to shock everybody. That is so fun. Kanye really popped off this year. He leaned in to how crazy he is.
I know. Next is just whatever. It is and just like that, because we started the year talking about it. We're ending the year talking about it, of course. And then lastly is just the vaccine, Vaxxed and Wax, Shot Girl Summer, those 2 weeks of mask-free freedom in July, and then all the memes. And then as of now, CityMD Twitter is lit.
I love this. Oh my God. I can't wait to do this every year and like recap what happened last year. I love it. I knew you were going to have what on there? The Georgia Dome got me.
I know there's always one. Last year, I forgot. They might have been Clarendale. Like, I liked the one that you don't see coming. So,
my Kardashian one was this year. Kourtney Kardashian actually became the most interesting to look at.
oh my God.
Did you know Kim yelled at her? She said you're the least interesting to look at.
Of course, I know that.
Listen, I know
don't-
you were out on the Kardashians.
I don't live
for
under a
little while.
bridge,
No, you were out for a little while.
Everybody knows that reference. I mean, yes, Kourtney and Travis, I feel like, and Machine Gun Kelly, and everything just went in this like 90s retro thing.
Fashion did.
Yeah.
Aunt Becky went to jail.
Oh, yeah.
So I have that. I have Freed Britney. The whole Cuomo family just got taken down.
Yikes.
We learned that Chrissy Teigen is a cyber bully.
Wait, Chrissy Teigen actually kind of got canceled. Like, after all these years, I unfollowed her. I felt
too.
like I've been such a fan. Let's just talk about this. I mean, I was a fan. Chrissy and I used to tweet because she submitted her dad for Fashion Dads. Like, I was a Chrissy Teigen stan.
I know.
And I just started to feel like she's not a nice person.
I know. There's no excuse for what she did. So she got canceled, and they complained about it a lot. We love when rich, famous
Well,
people
that's the thing. I feel like
complain.
everybody should have, their chance at redemption. But the thing that made me unfollow her was like that post on Instagram, and it was like her in her house. It was like a picture of her legs, like her laying on the couch, and she was like, "Is this what it's like to be canceled?" Like how? And she was basically like complaining about being canceled, but like had been in Italy the week before or something. Like it felt so tone deaf, and like I again, like whatever. I'm not dragging her. I unfollowed her.
I unfollowed her and she decided to drag other people. She deserved it.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris Harrison exits the Bachelor franchise.
That was huge. Yeah.
That was huge. All kinds of stuff happened with the Bachelor franchise this year.
Kind of the wildest year for that. You're right.
Yes. Crazy breakups. Crazy things happened. Colton Underwood came out of the closet. I mean, so much happened to the Bachelor franchise. I'm here for the reignition of Bennifer.
You're right. Bennifer, they were honorable mention on my list. I mean, it's crazy that happened. I still feel like it's fake. I still can't believe it.
I can't believe it. But then like I thought it was like a publicity stunt because I was like, yeah, of course, like you're going to like jet off.
Right.
But when you think about it, like somebody at that level can only date another person at that level. I'm like, who is she going to date?
Yeah.
She's the most famous woman alive.
Yeah.
Alex Rodriguez is the most famous athlete alive, except for like Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods.
Well, LeBron.
And also LeBron. But I liked all the couple news. I thought that Ben Affleck breaking up with Ana de Armas was crazy. I thought it was crazy that Madison LaCroix ruined the A-Rod and J-Lo thing. But I'm like, really, I'm glad because I really like the return of Bennifer.
I do too. My favorite couple of the year, I think this was real. I think it's still going, was Channing Tatum and Zoe Kravitz. Is that still happening?
I think so.
Okay.
I went through a huge list for today for all of the couples that broke up, and that was not one of them. I think we also saw just the return of like the obsessive over the top couple this year. Like people that are just like cannot keep their hands off each other, obsessed. And I love it. You see so many photos of Ben and Jen like that. And Courtney and Travis and Megan and Machine Gun and Heather Young and Tarek. Musil.
Yeah, like you're right. It was like the year of the PDA. Like hickeys are back.
Did Hickey's make a comeback?
I don't know. I feel like probably. What was it recently that I was watching? And she was like, he left a hickey on my boob. And she was like, me too. Oh, it was Sex Lives of College Girls.
Yeah, Sex Life of College Girls.
Yeah.
I haven't had a hickey since probably college, but I'm not against it.
Yeah, I feel like they're coming back. I feel like one of the Courtney or Megan, somebody had one, which is just like makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we have not seen the likes of this since like Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh my God, a clip resurfaced of them from the red carpet years ago. She just used to just be licking him on the red carpet.
Yeah, and she was like, she was carrying his blood in a vial around her neck.
Yeah.
It was so crazy.
I've had that level of obsession. I'm here for it.
It's back.
That's gonna be 2022. It's gonna be me on a red carpet, just fucking licking someone's face. I'm like, I got antibodies.
I don't. You're so lucky.
I feel like
I love your roundup. That was so funny. So we lost a lot of couples this year. I did a lot of research about this. There's so many. It's too many to mention all of them. But obviously we lost Kim and Kanye, J-Lo and A-Rod, Bill and Melinda Gates.
Oh my God.
Joe Exotic and Dylan Passages.
Oh, what?
Pete Davidson and probably 17 other people.
Yeah.
Half of the cast of Vanderpump Rules. Half of the cast of The Bachelor. Obviously, honorable mention for Claire and Dale. Half of the cast of My Unorthodox Life. Chase Stokes and Madeline Klein. I really liked them a lot from Outer Banks.
Okay.
We lost Zayn and Gigi.
Oh, right.
Elon Musk and Grimes. Here's one no one ever saw coming. Scott Disick and Amelia Hamilton.
Oh my God.
I have 4 more. Tiffany Haddish and Common.
Oh, don't remind me.
Here's a couple I don't care at all about, and there was so much news about them. I didn't even know how to say his name. Kaya Gerber and Jacob Elordi.
Oh,
you don't care either.
I don't know who that is.
Crazy. You know who Kaya Gerber is.
Of course.
Yeah, her boyfriend. I think that like her and Pete broke up, and he was the person after that. People like went crazy about this breakup. I literally don't care. Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes. What's that about it?
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, we don't.
Have.
Yeah, sure.
So that's it. That's what I have.
Their
That's my
publicist
breakup.
told them they could break up.
Oh, and then me and Kane.
Right.
Pour out a little liquor for my breakup. Yeah. Not laughing at him. Laughing
I never break up because if you're not in a relationship, you can't have a breakup. Hey! Did I date anybody this year? No.
No.
I'll blame it on COVID.
All right. Should we wrap it up with confessions of the year?
Yes.
I actually have to say, I picked a favorite moment of the year this year. One of my favorite moments that made me really laugh. One of my favorite moments this year was when I was having phone sex at 4:00 in the afternoon, walking down the street for no reason at all in New York City. And one of our, I was like rounding the corner to like, I'm going to suck the cum out of your dick. And one of our fans and her mom ran up to us and wanted to take a selfie. And that was one of my maybe most favorite moments of 2021.
That was a good moment.
Other than getting the vaccine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say that was one of my favorite moments of the year.
That was okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to spill the tea on, we basically were like, do you want to confess anything to us before the end of the year? And you guys did not disappoint.
Wow. All right, I'm going to read the first few.
Okay.
Again, these are crazy. You guys told us these like from your own personal Instagram accounts. This is wild.
Right. Like we know who you are. We're not going to share it, but we know who you are.
A lot of you are cheating. overwhelming amount of you.
Or are on the
or
precipice.
want to.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot. Okay. I have an arrangement set up with my sugar daddy to give one blowjob for $15,000 a week.
Oof.
One blowjob.
Wow, go
can
off,
you give
queen.
me Can you give me his number?
Right.
Per his
That's crazy, really. I mean, good for her. I mean, that's a lot.
That is crazy. I would $15,000 a week. I'd do a lot of stuff. That's crazy. Suck a dick? Yeah, I'd do it for free all the time. Okay. Per his request, I send my boyfriend videos of myself peeing in the shower while wearing lingerie.
Okay, like she's wet. The lingerie's wet.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
He wants like a whole vibe. He wants to like wear lingerie and pee, and she gets in the shower and pees on herself, sends him videos.
Okay.
This is the craziest one of all of them. My sugar daddy is my boyfriend's dad, and they both have no idea of my relationship with the other one.
Do you think that's true? It sounds like she just
know.
wanted to say something crazy.
That's the craziest thing that we got. Ashley and I like to play the game, Are You Lying?
Because like that feels like what's the craziest thing I can say?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sounds like she may be just kind of young, but that's a crazy thing for the dad.
Who do you think she met first?
Oh, but they both have no idea. Oh,
Yeah, they don't know about each
so this is
other.
just all on her.
It was all on her. Mm-hmm.
Her boyfriend's dad doesn't know his son's girlfriend.
I never met Kane's dad.
I'm calling bullshit.
Okay. All right. Ashley thinks you're lying. Okay.
Whatever.
Okay. I used to be a nanny. Last winter I ran into the dad and I fucked him. That was so hot. I can't stop sending nudes to my ex even though I have a boyfriend. Okay. And I'll do my last one. I read my boyfriend's journal cover to cover.
Your boyfriend has a journal. He should put a lock on it, on his diary.
I had a lock on mine. It was a 90210 journal and there was a lock.
Oh my God.
So embarrassing.
That's like, sounds pretty baller.
Also, I just don't know, like, if I found my boyfriend's journal that I would want to read it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you could listen to your friends talk shit on you, would you listen? No.
No.
People have private thoughts about you that aren't meant to be shared. We all think shitty things about other people. I don't want to read that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of self-control. I mean, I think some of that comes with age, but like, I'm not reading it unless I am ready for the relationship to be over because you can never unread it. It will change probably the course of your relationship. We always say, everyone always says, like, if you go snooping, you're going to find something you don't like. You just will.
I lived with my ex-fiance for almost 3.5 years, almost the entire time we were together. I had access to every single thing of his cell phone, his computer, everything. I did not ever read his text messages until he came home and said, I'm not in love with you. And then he went to work and I got his iPad and I read all of his text messages.
Yeah.
Our relationship was over.
Oh, no. Yeah. But we're happy. No, I'm not snooping on you.
Same. Me too. I don't need it in my brain space. Okay.
Okay. I hang out with all my ex's best friends in secret. They all like me more than they like him. I love that.
It's so funny
Keep
they do
it
it in
up.
secret.
I'm fucking my best friend's brother. Oh, man. Every time one of my friends gets a new boyfriend, I want them so bad. What is wrong with me? Damn. That feels like that's something with her friend. Like I wonder if she's like acting on it, like if she's flirting with them or something.
I don't know. It feels like an insecurity thing to me, and we all suffer from that. Like, we always have that. We all have that friend where we're like, can't leave around my boyfriend, you know? Like, what's wrong with you is you're probably a little insecure.
Well, her friend also might just be like some chick that just lands like the hottest, baddest dude. So,
yeah, also
okay. I fucked a 5'2" short king with the biggest dick I've ever seen.
I love that this is the tea. She's like, don't tell anybody.
I love that this
I fucked
is
a 5'2" person.
Screaming from the rooftops, girl. I literally don't care when my friends become pregnant. Oof. I felt that. No, I do care.
Remember that meme? It came, you'll say it more eloquently than me. That was like, I'm at the age when like I can no longer say like when my friends tell me they're pregnant that I'm like, what are you gonna do about it?
I know. Like it's always on purpose. I sign all my work emails, fuck you very much, in white font. I love that. I don't want to see any more close-up photos of my friends' kids. Shock me with new content, please.
That's how I feel about dog photos.
Oh, Rena.
I know.
At my office, I didn't have a condom, so instead we fucked using the plastic bag that holds the styrofoam coffee cups. That's unreal.
It took me a few minutes because it filled up like 3 different question bubbles, and I was like, what is going on here?
Well, thank you for taking the time to transcribe it. I mean, good for them for being safe, but I don't know if that
shit's thin. You know, office styrofoam cup plastic, it's thin.
Right.
Paper, you could blow air on it, it would rip. Okay, this next one is
And she's
really,
like, that her next tea is I'm pregnant now. By this dude at work.
She's like, but I double bagged it. It's like, it doesn't count if it was that thin. I love this one. I sucked my boyfriend's nephew's dick 2 years ago. Also, I left a cult.
Oh my God.
I haven't had sex in over 2 years.
I know who sent that. She's our friend.
That was a different person.
Me.
I hate my stepkids. So do a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm engaged and I'm actually in love with someone else.
This made me sad.
We got a lot of these, to be honest. We got a lot of these, like, I've been with somebody for years and I know they're not the one, or like, I know this is temporary or short term. And I mean, I honestly feel like, I hope, like, this sounds like so cheesy, but like, I hope you find peace in that. Like, walk away from something.
Don't get married.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, like, if you were like, I am having doubts and I don't know that I should marry this person, and I'm going to put this on Girls Gotta Eat's Instagram little question box and look for a sign. Here's your sign. Don't marry this person. You're in love with somebody else.
Yeah. Ashley and I, like, never tell anybody what to do because, you know, there's so many layers to everything. You know, your age, your socioeconomic status, your education, et cetera. Like, there's a million reasons why people do what they do. We would never say, like, don't do this thing. But yeah, if you're genuinely not in love with somebody, don't marry them.
Right. You're right. You're right. Like, well, maybe there's some crazy situation. This is like helping her get out of a bad situation. I don't know what that would be. I feel like it's not the smartest thing to tether yourself to somebody, but in normal circumstances, nothing else extenuating, don't marry somebody if you're in love with somebody else.
Yeah. Don't put yourself in situations you don't want to be in. Don't marry somebody. Don't date somebody you don't want to be with. It's bad for you. It's fucking bad for them too. We all deserve to be with somebody that we're in love with. Okay. I made dick molds of my ex and my husband and I compare them.
With their knowing, or is she like doing molds in the middle of the night?
I feel like it was probably like a Christmas present like a couple years ago. Like Remy gave me a present that was like mold your pussy or something.
Okay.
So maybe this is just like her thing. She gets like everybody she dates to mold their dicks.
That is so funny.
This one
comparing them.
I absolutely can't relate to this one. I hate blowjobs. I have a small mouth and I gag.
Okay.
All right, and I'll just do one more. I knowingly had sex with a Trump supporter who hunts and eats squirrels.
Of course he does.
Okay.
Knowingly, yikes. Okay. I don't want to marry my boyfriend. We've been dating and living together for 3.5 years. Again, if you're able to get out of this, take care of yourself, make sure you got somewhere to go. I mean, just get out of this. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's okay.
It's a new year.
I think people think of it as like a failure if you end a relationship. It's not. It's nice to have a relationship for 3.5 years. And it's also nice to walk away and find something else you like.
Yeah. My boyfriend has come in his pants while we were making out fully clothed 5 times. Oh.
Listen, good for you for being so hot that he can't even get his pants off.
I'm having an emotional affair with my married ex.
Yikes. No shame. Literally 50%.
No.
50% of you are cheating on the person you're with. You all told us.
And I said it because I was like, I can see it. Like, we've been there. No, I mean, all right. My ex ghosted me, so now I send him letters full of glitter at work.
You were not sure if this was funny. And I'm like, is this washing over you at work? She sends mail full of glitter.
Glitter bombs. And you can also do those with like tiny dicks, like like those like glitter dicks.
You can also do it with animal poop. I don't know if that's still a thing, but you used to be able to, like, gorilla
I feel like
shit.
we were not doing that post-COVID.
Like that
animal feces.
Exist?
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're like, ever since the whole bat thing, we're just not selling.
That's true.
I hid a bag of hard-boiled eggs in my roommate's room when I left. She had it coming. Yikes.
That is a crazy prank to play on somebody. It's funny. Listen, fish or hard-boiled eggs, you just hide them inside. You hide it in the ceiling. People can't find it.
Eggs will smell like that?
Hard-boiled eggs?
She took the shell off, I guess.
Yeah. Ashley's like, can you break down the semantics of this for me, please?
All right, do you want to finish it? Because you like this next one.
Okay. Once I bit myself and blamed it on my sister because I wanted her to get in trouble. I can relate to this. I would do that.
I would do that to my brother.
My parents love Arlen so much more than me. I would absolutely do it. Although Arlen did acknowledge this week that I've leveled up a lot. My parents like me just as much as him, almost. Okay. I'm glad I lost so many friends during COVID. Bye, cunts. I'm assuming she means they didn't die. They just parted ways, you know?
100%. I read that and I was like, that's dark. And then I was like, no, I think she just...
Bye, cunts made me... I think that we all just sort of learn we don't have to fuck with people that we don't fuck with.
Goes back to what you were saying, 100%.
Yep. And I really hate my boyfriend's family with a passion. I mean, who doesn't? Unless you're dating Ashley, you probably hate your significant other's family.
Do you have tea you want to spill?
I didn't know this at the time of tea.
What?
I have 2 teas.
Oh my God.
What movie is it? She's like, my medium baggage is, it's in Girls, the show Girls, which is like one of my favorite shows. She's like, my heaviest baggage is I'm a virgin. Okay, so my lightest baggage is that pretty much until this year, I thought there was 53 weeks in a year. Did I ever tell you that?
No. Oh my God. What?
And listen, I didn't know this at the time. It came to my attention after the fact. I had sex with an anti-vaxxer.
Wait, recently?
Well, I texted 2 people this year.
No, Raina, ew. I knew I hated him.
It's not him. I didn't have sex with him this year. The last time we had sex was December 31st.
Who are you talking about? Guys, we just had a meeting offline, and it is not who I thought it was. No!
I just learned.
Oh my
He
God.
was like kind of a COVID denier and an anti-vaxxer. I didn't know. Your face.
Oh my God. I mean, the dick was, and it was all right.
It was all right. That's my tea. I had sex with an anti-vaxxer. It wasn't Kane. It was the other person I had sex with this year.
Oh my God. Marina's still COVID free. I'm trying to think of, so I have one thing to share about. So I have a huge problem with like companies that are anti-customer. Truly. Like, what are you doing? Why are you treating your customers like shit? I don't think everybody should be Houston's and comp every table that makes a complaint. And I don't think the customer is always right. But I do think you should generally value people that are spending money, because those are the people that are going to spend more money, especially the people that have spent a lot of money. And I just can't stand some of these policies. And like, I had a situation earlier in the year where I'm not going to name the name, but I was dealing with a company that they were charging me. I was not using their service and a lot of money, pretty expensive. And I swear I canceled. I swear I did it. I couldn't find the email. I don't know if I did it over the phone. When I would have canceled, Dewey was really sick. Like, it was just, it's what it was. It was a stressful time. They continued to charge me. They're just really shady, and that they want you to know you're not being, they don't want you to know you're being charged. Like, I think their whole business model is like, let's debit these people every month and whatever. And I went in to try to cancel it, and I couldn't find the email. And I was like, I know I fucking canceled this. And like, also I haven't used the service. Can you please refund me? Also, look back at the thousands of dollars I spent with you, thousands, truly, over the years. You guys can probably take your guesses. And they just wouldn't do it. And they wouldn't even do anything. They wouldn't even be like, Miss Hasseltine, we see that you're a value customer. We see that we charged you a lot of money for the past 3 months. You know what? Why don't we just like take one of those months off? You can use it towards another month. Like, why would you not do something to try to keep me around? Like, I'm a valuable customer. So I couldn't let it go. I couldn't let it go. I was like, I hate this fucking company. I know people that worked for the company that were mistreated. I'm like, I hate this fucking company. I'm done with them. And so I did make a fake email, and I put a date on it that would have said when I canceled it, and I copied and pasted, and I did it perfectly. I checked with Rob if they could ever really see if it was fake. And I did like basically look like I forwarded that email from like December, whatever of 2020. And was like, please see the email below where I did cancel it. And they were like, oh my gosh, we're so sorry. And they refunded me the 3 months.
I'm so proud of you.
And I have never done that before. I was sweating. You know, I'm not a dishonest person.
I'm not either. I won't double down on a lie.
Fuck you.
It's also a huge national company. I don't.
Yes. Oh my God. I would never do this like a small business.
Yeah, absolutely. That is so funny. My tea is I fucked an anti-vaxxer, and you're like, I made up this fake email.
I didn't want to tell anybody about it. I don't like doing stuff like that.
I don't either. I don't like lying. If it works, I'm like, I can't believe it fucking
I couldn't believe it worked.
Like
When it worked and they were like, we're so sorry, I was just like, fuck you. You guys are idiots. And then you know what else? Let me just give the final icing on the cake. They reached out to me to work with them on a sponsored post like a few months ago. And I told Ashley, who manages our social media, I said, tell them no, and tell them I said, fuck you. And she was like, we're not going to tell them that, Ashley. And I was like, tell them I'm declining because I had a terrible customer service experience with them and I refused to work with them. She was like, I'll try to say something like that.
It's funny it came full circle. Also, she's such a bitch. She probably wanted to. She probably actually wrote. She managed us really well. That is so funny. Well, listen, I'm glad that it worked out for you, and they deserve to get scammed. And like you said, I worked for Danny Meyer, who owned Shake Shack, for a very long time. Everything there is just, it's not like the customer's always right. It's just like, let's treat people with dignity, respect, and they'll come back to this business.
Yes, that's the thing. Like,
I'll tell you what, you know who we love? I hate saying it, Revolve.
Listen, I'll give Revolve a free ad. I don't care, because I've been burned and I am willing. Like, listen, Revolve, don't love that every model is the skinniest, fakest looking person you've ever seen. They are problematic.
Customer service unparalleled.
Unbelievable.
They let me buy so much stuff and send back 90% of it. They're like, here's a return label. Can we make this any easier?
What is going on at Revolve? Like,
they really don't know.
2-day shipping, return label in the box, as it should be, quick on the email. Cause like sometimes I'll pre-order stuff, and then, like, for example, for the holiday shows, I pre-ordered a couple things that were supposed to come in time. Then I got an email, we're not going to have it for you in time. understandable, supply chain. Right back, all I do, respond, hey, can you cancel this? Absolutely. Like they are so quick. 2 days, easy returns, pro customer, 60-day return policy.
If you guys are still here, thank you. All right, should we wrap up this episode?
Yeah.
My final musings of this year. I love you and I love our business and I'm so proud of it. I think about this audience. I could like cry every single day. We're coming into 4 years of the show and there's a million podcast duos of two girls, there's a million shows to talk about relationships and dating. But I am so proud of this audience that stays here with us week after week. You guys are the coolest, funniest, smartest. We cannot believe it. Like being able to get back on the road with you and just like look people in the face and see how much they want to participate, laugh, share their lives with us. Thank you guys so much. We're coming up on 4 years of this show. It's been a tough couple years and we love having you here with us. We're so honored that you give us your time and we will continue to give you our time. And, you know, we love you. Thank you guys for being here. And obviously I love you and you're wonderful. And Azul.
Oh my God, we didn't even bring him up. Azul was a huge part this year.
We talked about him. No, you talked about getting him.
All right. Well, you're right. No, I know. I mean, I just feel the thing I feel luckiest the most is like our friendship and just like, I feel like I really needed to like lean on you a lot this year and same with you and like with the breakup and everything. And we just really like leaned on each other and we, you know, had it out when we need to. And we are like in this wholeheartedly. And, you know, there's been moments the last couple of weeks where we've been like so stressed and so irritated with everyone but each other. And we've just had to be like, thank God for you. You know what I mean? Like we get to be in this together. This is not something I would want to do alone. It's a dream job and we have you guys to thank. We don't have this without you. We have the talent, I guess, but we don't have the podcast. We don't have the live shows without you guys listening and coming and buying tickets and just supporting us. So I can't thank you enough. It's been such a wild ride and, we both learned a lot and we've just like grown so much. And I attribute it to having this, creating this and my friendship with you. So.
Well, I love you and I love you guys. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. We are so thankful. It's the thing I'm the most thankful for other than my friends and family is you guys. So thank you for being here. We are going to take a week off.
Yes.
We are very fucking excited for 2022. We got lots of cool stuff coming for you guys. We're going to launch a whole new business. We're excited.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we are. You guys you'll know about it. And again, like we said, just throw us a 5-star rating if you have enjoyed this. You guys can find everything you need at girlsgottaeatpodcast.com. Tickets to the shows. Again, we have new shows, Kansas City, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Detroit, and Indianapolis, merch and gift cards and whatnot. Follow us on Instagram at Girls Gotta Eat Podcast. I am Ash Hess on Instagram. Raina is Raina.Greenberg, girls_gotta eat on Twitter and youtube.com/girls gotta eat. And we'll see you next year.
We'll see you in 2022, guys.
Bye.